All right, everyone, we're going to get to it here. Hopefully you're enjoying your pizza, enjoying your salad. Let's give a big hand to the members of the welcoming committee who helped put this evening on. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So as I said, just wanted to share a little bit about myself, kind of how I came to be here. Not so much about how I came to be here at Immaculate Heart of Mary, but came to be a priest and things along those lines. So what I'm going to share is going to kind of share about my life, a little growing up, how I heard the Lord's call, how I saw the Lord working in my life. And some of you have probably had the experience that as you look back at your life, it's a lot easier to see what was happening, what the Lord was doing, what events or moments meant and how they impacted you later on. So as I share this, it's much clearer to me now than it ever was as I was going through it, right? So also, just to kind of set the stage, I suppose, I don't think most of this, at least for me, is pretty extraordinary. I think for the most part, it's just kind of, I don't know, my ordinary experience. Although when we're talking about the work of the Lord, there's always something extraordinary about it, right? So I grew up in Manchester, West St. Louis County. Hey, okay. Wonderful. This is a friendly crowd. So grew up in Manchester. I'm the oldest of 3 kids. I have 2 younger sisters. Always wanted a brother. Didn't ever get a brother, but I forgave my mom for that. So although I suppose I should forgive Dad. Anyway, oldest of 3. I think we had a pretty typical, ordinary upbringing. We didn't, live in a house where we just knelt there and prayed all the time. Like, as a kid, growing up, I loved to play sports and follow sports. This time of year is actually one of my favorite times of the year because this was like the time of the year when all 4 major sports are actually playing. Right? And I thought this was like the best 2-3 weeks of the whole year. Like there's sports all the time. So loved that. As a kid and with my 2 sisters, I see some kids here, I don't know if any of you ever fight with your siblings or don't get along, or if you have chores to do and maybe sometimes you do those chores and sometimes you don't, right? That's what I did, right? So I did all those things. So be better than me. And love your siblings and listen to your parents more often. So, went to our parish grade school, St. Joseph in Manchester, my home parish, was there all 9 years. And people often ask me, when did you first think about being a priest? I tend to source that when I was in 2nd grade. It was the first time it crossed my mind that I could be a priest. Happened, we had an associate pastor at the time, Father Ricky Valroy, who would always be around after Mass on Sundays. And my parents are talkers. Like, they just like to talk. They like to visit and all of that. And so we would always be the ones who, after church, we'd be there, and Mom and Dad would be talking to the other parents, the other adults, and us kids would be running around all over the place doing things after Mass. And so Father Valroy would refer to me as Little Father Burkemper. To this day, I don't know, did he do that to like all the young men? Or was it, so like just kind of like his vocation shtick? Or was it something kind of more just, for me? I honestly don't know. Never asked him. But I remember him saying that, and as a little 2nd grader, I had a few thoughts about that. On the one hand, I thought, well, priest probably wouldn't be a bad job because you basically just work 1 day a week. That sounded pretty good, right? But at the same time, I thought, well, the priest has to get up and talk in front of a bunch of people on Sunday, and I really don't want to do that. There's no way I'd ever do that. Okay. But the most important thought I had was just this little connection of, well, maybe that could happen. Maybe that could be me. maybe I could be a priest. And so for most of my life in grade school as I was growing up, the idea of being a priest was just kind of something that was very much there with all the other things that I would think about being at one time